Hey folks, this is Matt Rainwater, and today we're gonna work on this cool Smash Brothers Ultimate drawing I've been doing. Which, if y'all were here last week, I was drawing Ridley. I'm gonna have to adjust the colors on Ridley a bit. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that guy. I'm gonna go in real quick and adjust all the colors on the characters. Here's King DDD. Or, I don't know, some people like to say Day Day Day, but I say DDD. So, there you have it. Alright. What's going on? Here we go. Oh. Well, maybe that works. Yeah, that works. Okay. No, that doesn't work. Because now I just adjusted the colors for everybody, and that's not what I wanted to do. I just got up, so I'm not running like super efficiently right now. Having a super inefficient day so far. And in large part, I got up late. Although late for myself is like now 9:46 instead of 9 o'clock. I've been slowly adjusting like my wake up time to 9, and I like it. I like, I don't know, I like waking up a little bit earlier in the day because I feel like I can get more stuff done. Now, granted, 9 is not like the earliest time ever, right? But for me, that's kind of early. Going from, I mean, the last couple of months, I've been waking up like at 11, which is it's a little late. I feel like for like all the stuff that I'm trying to get done during the day and whatnot. Everybody has their own schedule. They have to figure out, though. I mean, one schedule works for. See, okay, here's what's going on. Ridley, when they designed Ridley for Smash Brothers Ultimate, they gave him like this very gray palette, and I don't like it. Like, to me, Ridley is like purple, like really purple. And I'm trying to find like a good purple to fit him. And first and foremost, purple is kind of a hard color to make work. Doesn't. Here, I'll try it again. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's more like a brown. See, this is gonna be the entire video, y'all. It's just me like trying on different colors for Ridley. I'm gonna have to really. I think that's gonna have to be it. That's just gonna have to be it. And then I'll adjust. Oh, wait. Okay. I need to adjust the color margin on my magic wand. Set it to 2. So I don't have this nonsense happening to me where it's selecting all these other colors. Alright. So I'm going to adjust this also, this red color right here, to more of a purple. Yeah. think that works. And I'll deal with the wings. I'm gonna end up using like a gradient to color them the way I want to color them. All right, everybody else. I think I was gonna check out Wario here. This needs to be okay. It is that. All right, that needs to be adjusted to this red. Anything else? I think it's looking good. So in this video, what we'll do is I'm doing like shading, lighting effects, rendering, and I'm going to do that for Bowser. So I'm going to set up a layer. I'll just call it shade. I'm going to set up another layer, and I'm just going to call it reflections. And I'm going to set up another layer, and I'm going to call it gradient. I think that's all the layers that I need. Let's start. We'll adjust accordingly. All right, and I want to get a bluish, I think I'm gonna go with a bluish color for my shade, because I'm gonna do like a, cell shading type rendering. Let's see how that looks. Because okay, so what I'm thinking is going to have my lighting come from off the what is this? This is the right of the canvas. Yeah, gonna have my light come from pardon the technical difficulties today. I'm gonna have light come from off the right side of the canvas, but I don't want to overdo it. That's why I'm kind of like hesitating. It's like I don't want heavy shadows, but I do want some shadows because creating that I don't know, it looks nice. That's all. It just looks nice. Doesn't have to be anything super technical. I just like it. All right. So, how's my week going? It's going okay. In regards to changing my schedule up, waking up earlier, that's going fine. It's a little. It's fine until I don't do it, basically. And then I'm like disappointed in myself. Like, how could you not get up at exactly the right, the right time you've set for yourself? I'm, for whatever reason, my mind-body interface is pretty good at like, if I tell myself I'm gonna wake up between 8:30 and 9, I'm gonna wake up between 8:30 and 9. Haven't had a problem with that so far until today, and I'm just gonna stop beating myself up about it. That's the goal, right? But yeah, my week's been going fine. Not really a whole lot to say about it. I'm looking forward to let's see. Those Fathom events that they do at the movie theaters. I guess there's been like a Miyazaki film festival going on, kind of. And The Tale of Princess Kaguya, which is I say Miyazaki, Ghibli. It's a Ghibli. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I think it's Ghibli. There's a Ghibli Film Festival taking place, sorta, kinda, over the last month, and The Tale of Princess Kaguya is going to be playing next week, and I'm excited about it because I haven't seen that movie. I really want to see it. And I missed out on it the first round, and I just, like in the past, I would just buy DVDs and collect the DVDs, but I don't do that anymore. I don't buy DVDs, and I'm guessing the only way you can see these movies otherwise is like by having Disney Plus, and I am not for that because whatever. Because I'm not very supportive of Disney for numerous reasons that I won't get into. I just don't want to spend the money. That's the real reason. I don't want to spend the money, but all the other reasons are kind of like, whatever. Who cares, really? I hardly care. But those are my reasons. So, Disney. Why was I talking about Disney? Miyazaki or Ghibli. It's really unfair to the rest of the directorial staff and staff in general that work at I don't know if Ghibli. I felt like Ghibli disbanded. Didn't this happen, or am I having some kind of Mandela effect thing? I'm pretty sure Ghibli disbanded after Miyazaki retired, and then it's confusing because then he unretired and is allegedly working on something else, but I just have so many thoughts today. So I appreciate your patience with my disjointed thoughts this morning. So yeah, I'm going to see the Tale of Princess Kaguya. December 16th or December 18th. One of the two. I'm really excited about it. It's the only thing that's going to convince me to give money to Disney, because they just happen to buy the one thing that I am irrationally exuberant about. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot else going on. It's been kind of like melancholy. The atmosphere around my house has been melancholy. Family is feeling still a lot of the fallout from the sudden and unexpected death of my uncle. Hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy for the family. We had the funeral last week, and I was a pallbearer. And I kept a pretty somber composure, and then towards the end, when me and the other pallbearers were guiding his coffin to his gravesite, that was the point at which I started to lose it, and just that very, very difficult sort of crying where I'm starting to frown, tears are falling out of my eyes. I'm just keep it together, you're holding your uncle's coffin, don't drop it or something. And then but it was difficult. It was a lot of difficult feelings. But it happened. Still kind of processing it and going through the emotional states that, the grief. It's been really hard for my mom. She's grieving this loss a lot, understandably so. I don't know what it's like to lose a sibling. Oh, actually, not true. But that's a story for a different day. I feel like the shadow for this arm needs to fall lower. Interesting thing about life is that experiences of life, especially if you're an artist, can help inform your art. Now, of course, the question I'm asking myself: how does how does grief and trauma inform this piece? It doesn't really. This is more. I mean, it's fan art, But I definitely use that stuff to sort of to inform and give me ideas and inspiration for themes and stories in Trailer Park Warlock. You could even say themes in Bat Monster. You could. I will today. Yeah, so I do use personal experiences to inform a lot of emotional states that I use, a lot of thematic ideas. There's a lot with the current storyline about Jake's past that is built around some really difficult events that I experienced in the last year. Well, really more like 5 years, but I try and use every part of the animal, so to speak. I try and incorporate as much of my life experience into fiction as I can. Not only as art therapy, but because I think it also grounds the stories that I write into some kind of something tangible, even though what may be happening in the story is completely absurd or ridiculous or unbelievable or whatever. I think that's what literary critics like to call magical realism to a certain extent. I was so annoyed with that term when it first started, making its rounds. That was around the time of I think Scott Pilgrim was a comic book that got that term lobbed around a lot, and there's a lot of novels whose names I cannot remember. But yeah, there were a lot of novels that term was thrown around on. Magical realism. I think really what that is, though, is it's just give me a second to put together the terms. It's just that my generation in particular has grown up with a lot of genre fiction, a lot of science fiction and fantasy, and well, I mean, not just my generation, but also the generation after me. And to some extent, prior generation boomers. Not as much, but to a certain extent, for sure. have grown up with a lot of genre fiction, and they really want to see something that they just want that genre fiction to look more realistic or to look more believable. And I'm not saying this like I think this about Trailer Park Warlock, but I'm saying this in regards to the idea of magic realism, which I feel like is just, when that term originally came out, I feel like it was just a term that some critics made up to sort of sell as their like their little buzzword. But anyway, the point being is I do think there is like some kind of groundedness that people are looking for in genre fiction, and not just like complete whimsy. Oh, what is this? Hold up. I'll get back to my thought in just a moment. So complete whimsy. Yeah, I don't know. Like, readers don't, myself included, don't really seem that much into whimsy. Like, have you ever read like Alice in Wonderland, or that's really the only book that I've read that I felt that way about, where it's just like, oh, okay, this is just weird, and isn't it so weird how it's weird, kind of a thing, and it just doesn't land very strong. People, when I say people, do I mean me? I want some kind of groundedness. Does that make sense? And so I try and do that in my own writing. And like I was saying, what informs my personal flavor of groundedness is my own life experiences. I would imagine that's the case for most writers. Going back to Scott Pilgrim as an example, clearly, I mean, I don't know this for certain, but clearly Brian Lee O'Malley must be implementing aspects of his life. Something that I did really like to find out about was that, you know, a lot of the settings in Scott Pilgrim were based on settings of like where he lived, I believe, or at least like where it was set. So it was well observed, so to speak. If you like Brian Lee O'Malley's stuff, I highly recommend reading Seconds. That is a really good comic. You can read it in like a couple hours, and it's just it's an enjoyable read. It's an enjoyable story. I'd love to know sort of like what personal experiences he had to inform it, because a lot of it is based on well, I mean, the crux of the story is based around like this person working to be a chef, or I say working to be a chef, like starting her own restaurant, if I recall the story correctly, and the trials and tribulations therein. Then plus, you know, the fantastical element. In this situation, I think it was a ghost or something like that. But yeah, it's been a couple of years since I read it, but it's a really good story. Okay. Maybe I should just keep it to these two characters for this video. So next I'll move on to some reflections. My intent is to eventually sell this picture as a print at conventions. Of course, this is assuming I get into any conventions. It's competition's kind of stiff to get into conventions in the South lately, as I am discovering. Alright, that looks pretty good. But also, maybe I can sell these on Etsy. I haven't used my Etsy account in a while. I've been kind of having to restart a lot of stuff. Alright, let's see. I think that's good for Bowser. Now let's do King K. Rool. King K. Rool, by the way, is my main. My main in Smash. Not like I go to tournaments or anything, but if I did, he's the person I'd be using the most. Him and Bowser both. Give me those big, thick lizards. Yeah. I play Ganondorf, but I'm not very good with him. I play King DDD sometimes. I'm not very... Yeah, I'm not good with him. He's more of a technical character, I would say. Which is to say, he's harder to use. He's harder to be good with. Who else do I use in Smash? Sometimes I'll play Banjo-Kazooie. And... Is there anybody else? Oh, Dr. Mario. Yep. Play Dr. Mario a fair amount. Sometimes I play Mega Man. Sometimes I play Pac-Man. They're fun characters, but I'm terrible with them. I'm not trying to be seriously competitive with them. I used to main Wolf and Falco, and over time I just like became all too aware that I'm garbage with them. Like they're just not my characters. That's okay. I like them. I'll play them for fun, but I'll never have any sort of like competitive ambition to be good with those characters. Not that I have a lot of competitive ambition with this game, but I think about it, and I think about this game a lot, which is why I'm making this fan art, because fun. So today, the rest of my day, I am going to be drawing episode 41 of Trailer Park Warlock, and my goal is to have it my goal is to finish drawing it by Sunday, color it, have it colored Monday, Tuesday, letters, Wednesday, lay it out. And if for whatever reason the spirit finds me willing, I may attempt to push that schedule, or like push it to like letter and layout on, what did I say, Tuesday? But we'll see. I'm not going to force myself to meet that. Not this week. Cool. Yeah, so what I was just doing there was just applying a soft eraser to my shaded layer just to soften up the shadows a little bit, just to create some dynamic color ranges there. All right, next I'm going to select all the colors for Bowser and King K. Rool, and I'm going to apply a couple of different gradients just for additional effect. Selecting all the things. All right. One of these days I want to do, I had thought about this when I was flattening this yesterday. I want to do like a little conversation about color choices, because I think that stuff is very interesting. It's very interesting to me. Sorry, I'm looking for the airbrush tool. There it is. I need to be bigger. That's probably big enough. Because I just wanted to, I wanted to spiel about color choice variations, or color choices that the designers for Smash Ultimate made for this game. Because they were all deliberate color choices made, and they were all made with certain philosophy or concept in mind. Like, certainly one of the basic things is they want to make all these disparate aesthetic tendencies mingle together, and that's all I'm going to say about it right now. But that's the crux of it, basically. All right, I'm picking this blue, like dark bluish color. You know what? No, we're not gonna go with dark. I'm gonna go. Let's do this red. That's too much. No way. Let's try now. It's better. I'm gonna do it even less. It's better. Do it even less. I don't know. It's too. Let's make it more reddish. More reddish. Okay. I'm just. Like so. And like so. Just cool. Well, that's all for me today. I will get back to y'all again next week, and I'll probably be done with this illustration by next week. So odds are next installment there'll be some kind of Trailer Park Warlock thing, like maybe I'll be coloring. Or maybe I'll be drawing, who knows. Anyway, I hope whatever's going on for you, that your life's going well, that your projects are going well, and stay on target. We're all trying that, right? Talk to you later. All right? Talk to you later. Bye.